Forced Showdown is the successor to Beta Dwarf's game Forced, which was a cooperative arcade brawler that reminded us of the Gauntlet series, if anyone remembers that. And Showdown takes a different turn, resurrecting its battle-proven arena combat from Forced strictly in a single-player format, but it also adds a splash of strategy through a cards system and companion system, and this is building upon Forced, a game that we really did like quite a bit for single player, but especially for its cooperative gameplay elements. And Showdown takes that formula and reduces it, distills it down to a single player game. So if you don't want to sit around and try and collect the friends to brawl through the same type of mechanics, if you like those arena dungeon crawler style gameplay mechanics, then Showdown is worth a look. Before getting into more of this, a few things. We're giving away 20 keys for the game Forced Showdown, and with thanks to system integrator iBuyPower, who recently designed the Revolt 2 gaming PC, I'm sure many of you remember that, we're also throwing in 2 mechanical keyboards, 5 iBuyPower jerseys, and 5 goodie swag bags, and the first few keys will be overlaid in this video, so make sure to watch the whole thing to grab one, and then type it into Steam's activation system to redeem. The rest of the keys and other awards here will be given through our YouTube subscriber system, so if you're a subscriber, we will see you commenting on this video if you do post a comment, and we'll select based upon comments to figure out who gets more keys, and then Twitter followers will receive keys as well. So you can read the conditions of the giveaway, the contest, in the link in the description below if you want to learn more about it, learn which countries can apply, things like that. That's all down there. And the basics of it, though, just retweet our Forced giveaway tweet, and that is, again, linked below, or comment on this video, subscribe on YouTube to get a key if you are one of the 20 that are selected, or just watch the video and redeem. Let's talk about Showdown. So, Forced Showdown drops us into an artfully stylized arena with voiceover work that builds on a boxing ring atmosphere, sort of like the Quake and UT voiceovers that you hear, and they're very bombastic and overly done, but playful, and it works well with the environment. Players take control over one of 4 characters. Stormbringer is returning from Forced, that'd be the Archer. Squire of Light, Ravager, and Volko are sort of new, but plays on some of the same ideas from Forced, and each character has 2 core abilities, a base attack, and access to a complex card system for further empowerment. Cards are drawn, so to speak, at the beginning of each arena match. They're dealt to you, and you've got limited mana, which is basically currency, so you use that mana to fund your card selection. And if you don't like the cards, you can use the Mulligan System, which works as any Mulligan System does. You sacrifice some things in return for a new card draw. Card selection uses stats and ability modifiers with specific conditions to offer a strategic element to a game that's otherwise just an arcade brawler. So it's not a card game. It doesn't go that heavy into the cards direction, but it's got cards available basically as stats and modifiers so that you can use those to sort of spice up gameplay and trigger some unique and interesting combos with the abilities. In what's describable only as cute, Dragon and so-called Wizard Puff companions will also join us on the battlefield to provide cover fire, but that's really about it early on. They die pretty quickly and respawn the next round, but they have unique, clever means of deployment that can turn the tide of battle, and they do get larger and more powerful as you progress through the game, so they become pretty intimidating to your enemies as you do move forward, even though they're really just sort of cute and die quickly early on. Much like Balfus from the original Forced game, these companions can be used just to sort of draw enemies in a way that creates some unique gameplay mechanics and opportunities. Showdown is a much different game from the original Forced. The mechanics are more or less the same at a fundamental level, but the Spirit Ball mechanic with Balfus is gone, and the cooperative gameplay has been axed to just single-player gameplay. So we talked to Beta Dwarf about this previously at one of the PAX events, and they explained to us that this was a move to build upon the brand that they created with Forced and expand the studio, which experienced really pretty explosive growth from the first game launch. They were very successful with Forced. So this is a play at taking sort of the same IP, but building it in a different way so that the studio doesn't get sucked into creating the same game over and over like we see with many of the AAA studios today. That is something they're trying desperately to avoid and have done well with Showdown. Gameplay progression is a simple multi-stage setup with the character advancements sort of coming to you as you work through each of the arena rounds, and card unlocks also appear as you fight through the battles and work your way towards boss stages. Like a CCG, mulligans, as stated before, can be performed to refresh the card pool for impending rounds. Movement is handled with WASD, attacks are handled with clicks and hotkeys, E and so forth, and companions manage themselves pretty much entirely, but you can do some unique navigation around the course to force pathfinding that will cause them to react in ways that are beneficial to combat. Overall, the game's mood is playful, but never in an obnoxious or overly silly way, just like Forced again, and it's good for a spot of arcadey action in a pretty and fast-paced gameplay environment and atmosphere. Players who are seeking something comparable to a single-player arcade arena crawler experience should seriously consider Forced Showdown, especially if you like the first Forced, but maybe want to play a single-player version of it, sort of. Stay tuned for full critique and review of this game. It is approaching for a March 29th launch date, and you can also win some of the keys in this sort of contest giveaway thing we're doing, and hopefully you've gotten a chance to redeem one of those through the video. If not, comment below, subscribe, or retweet the tweet, and follow us on Twitter, and we'll look through those submissions and see if we can give away some more keys. So, as always, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.